Next, we'll discuss cultural basis of emotion. So, according to psychologists, basic emotions are universal, means they are inborn and they're present in everyone. But culture determine our emotion. Culture determine the way we express the emotion. Culture also determine which factors are going to produce emotional reaction. So, some factor which may produce emotional reaction in one culture may not produce same emotional reaction in another culture. Or the way we express emotion may differ. Like in one culture, people express emotion in a particular manner, but in another culture, people may experience emotion in another manner. So, cultural effect we can see in case of expression of emotion. So, emotion is not, we cannot see emotion. Sorry, we cannot see emotion if uh, emotion we can see emotion through verbal and non-verbal expression. So people either can communicate their emotion verbally, or we can infer emotion from their non-verbal communication. One way to know emotion is from facial expression. So we can see that we can know the person's emotion through different kind of facial expression. Also, we can know person's emotional expression through other things like gesture, eye gaze, body language, gesture, it is body language, eye gaze, paralanguage. Cultural effect we can see in this non-verbal expression of emotion. So people differ in terms of facial expression. Darwin said people basic facial expressions are universal, but apart from that, other emotions, in case of mixed emotions, we can see there are different way people express their emotion. Also, people differ. Cultural difference can be observed in case of gestures and paralanguage and proximal behavior. So, gaze behavior. So, in some culture, direct gaze is accepted and it is required in social communication. But in some culture, they prefer peripheral gaze, means we don't directly look at the partner, look at the conversational partner. It considered rude. So we maintain a peripheral gaze during interaction. In some cultures, silence is accepted to indicate deep thought. But in some cultures, silence is considered as a sign of shyness during conversation. So we can see that the nonverbal communication of emotion may differ from one culture to another culture. Another expression of emotion is proximity or proximal distance, means physical distance between individual. So it also differ from culture to culture. In some culture, it is considered rude and inappropriate if people are interact two people who are interacting, they are very close. But in some culture, it is accepted, and it is considered emotional warmth. So we can see that again culture affect the way people maintain physical distance during conversation. Culture also influence the way people level different emotion. So we can see many instances here, like the different in different type of emotion people have leveled from different culture. Like in Japanese culture, they level emotion happiness. They use 10 levels to express emotion happiness, or 8 levels to express emotion anger. In ancient Indian literature, there are identify 8 emotions like love, energy, mirth, anger, grief, disgust, fear, like this. So we can see that people from different culture, they label emotion in different way, and and also express emotion in different way. Now we'll discuss how to manage negative emotion. So every day we experience different kind of negative emotions like fear, anxiety, disgust, frustration. So if this negative emotion, we don't know how to control them, or if we don't experience the emotion for a long time, it may affect our psychological well-being, it may affect our physical well-being. Like if I am anxious for a long period of time, and I don't know how to control my anxiety and stress, that can affect my psychological well-being, that can affect my physical health. So it is very important to know how to control our negative emotion. In this connection, I'd like to discuss one thing which is called post-traumatic stress disorder. Is post-traumatic stress disorder actually people experience when they experience some kind of disaster or some kind of negative life events. So what happened that after experiencing the negative event, the people may develop this disorder, and in case of this disorder, the people re-experience through flashback the negative event again and again, and that may create anxiety, sadness, fear in the person. So it is very important to know how to control this kind of disorder also, for some good for mental well-being. And people should know how to develop effective strategy, coping strategy to control all these negative effects. So the concern of emotional management technique is to develop technique to reduce the negative emotions, and also to enhance the positive emotions like happiness, hope, creativity, courage, optimism. So even if I'm facing very difficult situation, how I'm going to perceive the situation, whether I'm going to think that okay, there is no hope and I cannot do anything, or I'm going to think that okay, even if I'm going through a negative situation, still there is hope, still but I can face the situation and I can do something better, and I can overcome the difficulties. So my interpretation determine my emotion, um, and that will ultimately lead to the physical and mental well-being. So now we'll discuss some technique which help us to manage negative emotion. First, we need to be self-aware. Means we have to know our own emotions, why we are feeling the emotion, how we are developing this emotion. Then we have to appraise the situation subjectively. So many times we face negative emotion because we perceive the situation the way we are interpreting the situation. So if we perceive the situation and objectively, we perceive the situation positively, that may help us to overcome help us to develop positive emotion, and that may stop that may reduce the negative emotion. Third is do some self monitoring. सेल्फ मॉनिटरिंग मीन्स वी हैव टू चेक पास्ट में हम लोगों ने कैसे डील किया, कैसे मैंने डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन को ओवरकम किया. सो दिस विल गिव मी कॉन्फिडेंट टू फेस द प्रेजेंट डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशंस, and to reduce negative emotion, and to reduce. Next, we can be our own model. Like we have to see the positive aspect of ourselves. हम लोगों में क्या पॉजिटिव है, क्या खूबियाँ है, खुद खुद में क्या खूबियाँ, उसको भी देखना है. मेनी टाइम क्या होता है, हम लोग सिर्फ देखते हैं हम लोग क्या नहीं कर पाते हैं, क्यों फेलियर हो रहे हैं. खुद हम लोगों को खुद का जो खूबियाँ है, जो पॉजिटिव पॉइंट, वो इग्नोर करते हैं. सो वी शुड परसीव दैट विल गिव अस सम काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस टू डील विद द प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन. Fifth one is perceptual reorganization and cognitive restructuring. Perceptual reorganization, and many times we don't perceive the thing, we perceive the thing negatively. So we have to see the thing from, we have to change our perception. We have to see we have to see the other side of the coin, and then that will help us to develop a positive emotions, and get rid from the negative emotion. Get rid from the negative emotion. Then creative, we have to be creative. We have to think different situation. We have to be engaged in different kind of activities which give us energy, which will give us pleasure, so that we can develop positive emotion. Then we need a good need to develop good relationship, friendship. So cheerful friend who help us, who support us, who encourage us, may help us to remove our negative emotion and develop positive emotion. Then have empathy, means we should know, should have empathetic feeling for others. We should understand their feeling, and we should understand their perspective. And also participating in community service give us a positive feeling of fulfillment, and help us to reduce the negative emotions. Now we'll discuss how to manage examination anxiety. I'm sure we all face this examination anxiety, so it is very common. So how can we handle this exam anxiety? So people who feel a stressful situation, they try to cope the situation by using two strategy. Either they try to monitor the situation, take effective action, or they try to avoid the situation. So in exam situation also, people use monitoring technique where they deal the directly try to deal with the problem, or they try to avoid the situation. Obviously, it is not possible to use true avoiding strategy, and it is not also acceptable that I avoid my exam. But people use, you can use different avoiding strategy to get rid of the stress that they feel during exam situation. So now I'll discuss this two strategy. Monitoring strategy means directly addressing the situation. So we can prepare well, we can study, we can work hard, we can rehearse, we can practice the thing in, so we can practice the thing again and again. The inoculation means we can take part in mock test so that we can understand the physical and psychological situation during exam. So हम लोग mock test में participate करते हैं, exam देते हैं, test देते हैं, तो फिर मुझे एक्चुअल एग्जाम का जो स्ट्रेस एंजाइटी है वो उसके बारे में पता चले, उसको डील करने में पता चले. जितना हम लोग मॉक टेस्ट और टेस्ट देंगे उतना हम लोग का कॉन्फिडेंट बढ़ेगा. Positive thinking, we should think positively, we should think that exam is a positive thing, and we can show our whatever we have learned, whatever we have knowledge we have, so that also may help us to deal with exam related anxiety. And seek support, we can take support, we can seek support from others, from friends, from senior. We can discuss our fear, our anxiety with them, and we can know how they are handling their stressful and exam related anxiety. That also may help us to deal with the exam related anxiety. The second strategy that people use is avoiding, though although true avoiding is not desirable, or it is not possible, but we can use some technique to reduce the stress that we feel during exam. One is relaxation. Relaxation will help us to, physiological relaxation will help us to calm down our mental agitation. And second is exercise. Obviously, it is always good. Exercise help us to release our stress and to gain confidence. So these are the strategies that we can use to manage exam related anxiety. Next, we'll discuss how to manage anger. How to manage anger. So we all face, many of us face anger issues, and we should know how to control our anger, because anger can hamper our interpersonal relationship. So we should we need to control our anger. We can use self-talking to reduce our angry feeling. We can use our anger constructively. So these are different strategies that we can use to control our anger. Now we'll discuss how to enhance positive emotion. So positive emotions like happiness, joy, optimism are very much important in our life, and we need that for our emotional well-being. So there are many strategies which we can use to enhance our positive emotion. Like we can develop quality relationship or association with other people. That support system will help us to improve our help us to develop positive emotion. We can interpret the situation in a positive way. I can see the positive thing, even if there's a very small amount of positive thing in a situation, but we should perceive it. So whenever we are facing a difficult situation, we should interpret the situation in a positive manner, so that that may help me to enhance my positive emotion. So suppose I'm not able to do something, achieve something what I want to do. मैं कुछ कर नहीं पा रही हूँ, और मैं जो अचीव करना चाहती हूँ मैं नहीं कर पा रही हूँ. तो मुझे इस सिचुएशन को नेगेटिवली परसीव नहीं, कि पॉजिटिवली परसीव करना है कि एक चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन है, सिचुएशन से मैं कुछ लर्न कर रही हूँ, कुछ सीख रही हूँ, एंड मैं अगर मैं इस सिचुएशन को पॉजिटिवली ओवरकम कर जाऊँ तो मुझे बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट मिलेगा. सो इन दिस वे आई कैन परसीव द सिचुएशन पॉजिटिवली. Next, the last thing that we'll discuss is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is very much important in today's professional field. Emotional intelligence means the way we handle the way we become aware of our own emotion and handle our own emotion, and the way we become aware of others' emotion and handle their emotion. So emotional intelligence in professional field is very important, because we need to know our emotion properly. We need to know how to control our emotions, how to express our emotion. At the same time, we should be aware of other people's emotion, and we should know how to control their emotion.